Welcome to the 6 Day Challenge. This is where I will invite you to join me in 6 days' time to build your next winning Facebook ads campaign. Now, what do you mean by a next winning Facebook ads campaign? What is good about this thing? It would actually help you achieve these three things. The framework that we have been using will actually help you achieve three key benefits. The first one is it would actually help you stop wasting budget on the people that you don't want to reach. The wrong people, probably people who have taken action or probably who have seen your ads for way too many times. The second thing is this framework is going to help you build your brand in a way that you have never imagined before. Imagine if there's a bunch of people who are interested in your product, and then in turn, they will start seeing your advertisement wherever they go as many times as possible with a very small budget that you need to spend on these people. What kind of impact that such campaign is going to bring to your business? And the third thing here is when you're able to implement the whole framework that I'm about to teach you to your business, to your Facebook ads campaign, it's actually a proven network, a framework that we've been using since 2016 until now. It will definitely help you multiply your advertising ROI. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying that you need to spend a lot more to get better results. What I'm promising you here is even with the same amount that you're spending, even with just probably like a $300 a month that you're spending on advertisement, I'm able to help you get more out of the budget that you're spending right now. Welcome to this 6 Day Challenge. My name is Jason. If you're not familiar with me, I've been helping brands big and small navigating success with effective Facebook advertising and digital marketing since 2010. I run a boutique agency that I have helped over 200 brands, big and small, regionally, navigating success in digital marketing and Facebook advertising. I've also trained over 4,000 people specifically on Facebook advertising since 2016. Now, what I'm actually talking about here is I wanted to quickly walk you through about a few mistakes why your Facebook ads campaign is not working. Now, the reason why you're looking for this thing is probably because you're having trouble with your Facebook ads campaign. Now, I want to point to you a few key mistakes that you might be committing. And how can we actually avoid this thing? The first mistake we're talking about, basically, there are three mistakes. Now, the first mistake we're talking about is most people, when they're advertising on Facebook, they're advertising with the wrong action. Now, it's really important. Basically, what do you mean by wrong action? Action here means the Facebook advertising objective. Now, as we can see, as we all know, now put it this way, if you're not familiar with this screen, if you have not seen this screen before, you must join the 6 Day Challenge because this is where you will start building your own knowledge about Facebook advertising in the right way, because this is really the right place that you should be starting when you want to build your Facebook ads campaign in a proper way. However, for those people who have been running ads for a long time, they may still find this page a little bit confusing. Like, for example, do you know how brand awareness work? Okay. Do you know how conversion work in an optimum way? Which conversion you need to optimize for? I mean, that how many fires you need to have in that particular conversion in order for Facebook to find the right people that might do the same thing. You see, it's really important. Now, the moment you start with the wrong objective, you will eventually, literally, targeting the wrong person. How so? Let me break it down in a very simple scenario here. Now, let's say if we zoom it in to target people who lives 1 kilometer radius from this area, for example, and then you want to zoom into only female, age 25 to 44, with kids below 12-year-old, even you zoom into 1,000 people like what we are looking at right now. Okay, even these 1,000 people, they are broken into different action categories. How so? All of us uses Facebook in an entirely different way. So basically, out of these 1,000 people, probably there will be about 500 people who are very much into liking, because Facebook really know how you interact with every single piece of information when you are being presented. Now, there will be at the same time another group of people who are very into like installing apps. These are the people who play games a lot. These are the people who actually, they are very adventurous. They just install. Whereas another group over here, who are the people who actually click a lot of links. They submarine. They don't do anything. Whenever they see something, they will just, quietly click the link and read more about the thing and they just leave. Now, the moment you choose your objective, you will actually tell Facebook which action that you're looking for, and Facebook will eventually zoom into the people who are likely to take action. Give you an example. If you have boosted a post, many people have done it. A lot of people complain boost post is useless. No, I beg to differ. It's not about the objective that is useless. It's about you choosing the wrong objective, and in turn, Facebook give you the wrong people. Who are the people who boost? I mean, when you boost, you'll be going for people who are likely to like, comment, and share. Now, let me ask you this question. Are we your audiences? Are we your target audience? Chances are we are. Now, when was the last time, let me ask you this. When was the last time you commented on an advertisement? Take some time to think about it. Now, we don't do that anymore. We don't comment on advertisement anymore. We don't like an advertisement anymore. That is not something that we do anymore because we know what is an advertisement, first thing first, and we know the impact if we commit to an advertisement. So people don't do that anymore. However, if you are still going for this group of people, then who are the people who are likely to do this? Probably my mom, my dad, because they are new to Facebook, they thought that this is something that they do. So the moment you choose the wrong objective, you are actually telling Facebook that you want this group of people. But put it this way, people who like, comment, and share are not the people who will actually click the link and go to your website. So you got to be very clear. If you want to drive people to your website, you need to go for the right objective. So come back to these objectives again. This is the thing that I really want to highlight to you, that you must understand each and every one of the objective. And this is one of the very important thing. We will spend one day of training. I mean, it's like an hour or so. This training is particularly helping you to understand how to use each and every one of the objectives to avoid you to commit to the same mistake number one again, which is you don't want to go for the wrong action. Now, the second mistake, basically, eventually, this is the thing that I wanted to share with you. Action decides the audience. Although you actually zoom into whatever that you want to zoom in, however, out of these audiences that you're looking at, right, different people would have actually different way of using Facebook. And the moment you choose the wrong objective, it goes sideways. Now, the second mistake that a lot of people actually do is they are advertising without following the intent. Now, here's my argument. When you're running an advertisement, you're not supposed to go out and sell. Yes, of course, selling is natural. However, an advertisement is supposed to find you the people who are intended or interested in your product. And to be frank, a lot of people actually misunderstood about the process of advertising. Now, I want to help you understand how Facebook advertisement really work. How does it work? Put it this way. This is how a lot of people would think. When you see an advertisement, I mean, let's say if you sell Apple AirPods, for example. So when you run ads, when the audience sees your advertisement, naturally, this is what you think. They will click and go over to the landing page where you have all the details listed there, and then you have the button to click to buy, which eventually you believe people will buy. Now, let me give you some hard, cold fact, cruel facts about Facebook advertisement in terms of the actions, the journey. According to Facebook Blueprint data, well, for those who are not familiar, I'm a Facebook Blueprint certified professional since 2017. Now, this is really the official certification by Facebook. And every year, we need to sit through the exams again in order to be certified for another year. So this is renewal by yearly. So last year, recent year, I mean, as in like my last exam was in March this year. 2020, March 2020. So what we did was actually we have to study again and all these kind of things. So according to Facebook Blueprint data, a person need to see your ads at least about 2 to 3 times in 7 days to realize. Now, what is that? Put it this way. When we are browsing Facebook or Instagram, our minds sets, kind of like go into subconscious mode. We are not thinking, we just browse mindlessly. And now subconscious is very good at one thing. Our subconscious is really good at rejecting stranger things. So when you see your friend posting about his lunch and all this, then you'll be stopping and say that, come on, this guy ate good lunch again. Then you go and like, or you probably comment. But when you see an advertisement coming from Jason Gunn, you browse through, you scroll through. Because this is how we work. Our subconscious rejects stranger things. So in order for Jason Gunn's advertisement to capture your attention, I need to appear at least 2 to 3 times. This is how you are here. You didn't come here the first time you see my ad. You probably come here second or third time after you see my ad. Now, this is really the thing that I want to highlight to you. Let's say if you reach 100,000 people, I mean, you reach people 100,000 times, for example, you will get 1% click-through rate, which means 100 times you show your ads, you will have 1,000 clicks. Yes, that's kind of like the industrial standard for most industries. So yes, it's not some fairy tale story over there. You won't get a lot of clicks. 1%, about 1 to 2% would click. Now, out of these 1,000 people who click, do you think all these 1,000 people will buy from you? Never, because 95% of these people will drop off. Why? Now, I really want to illustrate this to you because the journey of a person from a stranger, a complete stranger, until they really land on a website, that is already a very tough journey that they need to go through. That's why, you see, the moment they see your ad, you see, they need to see your ads 2 to 3 times in a week. Then they finally realize and say, oh, okay, I think I've seen this guy, this Jason Gunn, for several times. Let's take a look about what he does. So when they pay attention, then they will decide whether they want to click or not. But when they click, what will happen? When you click, what will happen? Your wife called, your boss texted you, your kid is walking to you and they're crying, they need food. You got distraction. We have 4,624 distraction possibilities they may come our way, and we get distracted all the time, especially mobile. Most of us consume advertisement on mobile environment, and we are so easily distracted on mobile environment because it's so noisy over there. But what I wanted to highlight to you in this whole journey is that those people who finally see your ads 2 to 3 times and finally they realize and they pay attention and they click and they come over and they left, not because they are not interested. Exactly the opposite. They are interested. They are intended. But my question to you is, if you're running advertisement, what are you doing on these 95% of the people who eventually, see your ads, decided to click, come over and left? Now, when you are not able to capitalize on this 95%, you are actually leaving a lot of money on the table. This is really the money on the table. And this is what I really want to teach you to capitalize. So basically, what I'm actually trying to highlight to you here is you need to find a way to capture these people, which it will lead us to the third question, which is most of the people out there running ads on Facebook, they are not advertising with a funnel. So that led us to the framework that I want to teach you. This is what we call the two-step funnel framework. Now, the two-step funnel framework is really a framework that we have been using since 2016. In fact, earlier we've been using it, but it wasn't firm up to become a very solid framework. So since 2016 until now, this framework has already guided more than about $3 million in ad spend regionally. So basically, it's been proven to over 20 over industries. Most of the time, the industry that you're in, chances are it's workable. This is actually applicable to your industry. Now, let me explain to you what is really the two-step funnel framework. A lot of people, you need to understand, then you judge whether you want this or not. And then you judge whether this makes sense. Okay? Now, two-step funnel framework basically run two advertisements at the same time. Now, the first advertisement, which is on the left-hand side, the tier 1 advertisement, is the one that is supposed to constantly go out and help you reach new people who might be interested in your product or services, yet they do not know about you yet. So this is the first ad. Then the tier 2 advertisement is to actually follow the intent, which means if you see the first ad at least 2 to 3 times in 7 days, finally you realize and click, but you left. Then the second ad, which is a tier 2 ad, will follow you for a specific period of time to make sure that I follow you enough to build a brand, and I follow you enough to remind you to take the action that you want to do. So basically, that's how it works. Tier 1 ad, usually I'm just already going to give you how the whole thing works already. So tier 1 ad, as you can see here, we usually use either video or slideshow. So if you're selling on e-commerce, this is something that is applicable to you. So you actually use this to capture intent. Now, the moment people see the ad and they finally click on it, this is where they come in, they will start browsing, right? So the moment they browse to the very end and they take the leap, which is the leap of faith, and they click the button to go over to the landing page and they left. Now, what are we doing here with this advertisement? This advertisement, if you pay close attention, it is actually doing two things. First, it is capturing those who have watched up to 50% of the slideshow. Usually we set this slideshow to be within 15 seconds. If you watch up to 50%, that means you have already paid attention to this ad for up to 6 to 7 seconds. That is good enough. That is strong intent. Now, the second action that we are capturing here is if you really take another step to click. So this is even a deeper indicator, stronger indicator that you're intended. Now, when you take these two actions, okay, I'm going to do two things on you. First thing that I want to do here is I want to make sure that you don't see the tier 1 ad again. Logic? Make sense? Why? This is how it works. When you have seen an ad finally 2 to 3 times, 2 to 3 times, and basically you have taken the action, which is you watch the video and you click, okay? Even if these ads come back to you again, you're not likely to take the action again because you have done it. And you probably will start looking at it, come on, why are you still coming back to me? So the moment we want to do here, the moment we exclude you from seeing this ad again, I'm saving a lot of money because Eventually, this is, in my opinion, I call this the budget waste. You don't want to waste the budget on the people who have taken action. So that's the first thing that we do. Now, the second thing that we do here is we will start retargeting you with next advertisement. So let me show you what is the next advertisement. Usually I will run a carousel or even single image is fine. The whole idea here of this advertisement is really to come over and follow you, to tell you, hey, come on, remind you. And we will follow you for only a specific period of time because every buying intent has an expiry date. We call this the conversion window. So we will have to find out for your business, what is the conversion window? The question to ask here is, how long do people take to consider whether they want to buy from you or your competitor? How long do they take to consider to buy from? So that's the duration that we need to optimize. So this is the two-step funnel framework. And this is what I want to teach you in the 6-day challenge. Basically, it is a method that will actually help you do a few things. First, it will actually help you reduce your budget waste because, yeah, the moment people have taken action, they should be out. And then second thing is it will actually help you increase your branding effect. Why? Because the moment they have taken action, the tier 2 advertisement will follow you everywhere they go with a very small amount of money. So that will make you become the omni-channel brand for these people. And the third thing is, when you're able to build these two things coming together, you increase the likelihood of converting the right people. So this is a whole framework that has been proven working, for the past few years, managing tens of millions in Facebook advertising. That's something that I want to teach you. Now let's come back to this two-step funnel framework. Let me break it down to a few things that you want to take into consideration. First thing first, the two-step funnel framework is actually running at 2 ads. So let me clear it to you. 2 ads should go simultaneously. No, not one ad goes first, the other ad follow in 7 days time and all that. No, 2 ads run simultaneously because the moment your first tier 1 ad started running, you already generate people or audiences who have taken action, which means your tier 2 needs to start immediately. So the natural, the optimum, the flow would be the moment you see tier 1 ad and you don't take action, the moment you come out and you come back to Facebook again, you start seeing the second ad follow you everywhere you go. So that's how. So the tier 1 ad is supposed to go out to help you capture intent. However, it should already help you get normal results. And then the tier 2 ad will come in to increase the conversion among those who actually drop out. And then it will actually help you overall improve your ROI. So that's the whole thing that we can actually help you achieve better ROI, even with the same amount that you are spending on Facebook advertising. Remember, I will never ask you to spend more. I'm talking about how do we spend the same, but we get better result. So let me break it down to you again. Why do you want to run ads in the funnel? Let me give you 2 scenarios in comparison. Like I said, we take $300 a month in Facebook ad spend. Okay, so let's say if you spend $300 a month, that's probably about $10 a day that you're spending. I think that's a decent amount to start. If you're running ads and you can't commit even $5 to $10 a day, I think it's a bit difficult to get good results. But I'm not asking you to spend a lot, just $300 a month. Now, in normal cases, let me give you first case scenario. Scenario 1 is you spend $300 in just one advertisement. I mean, a lot of people argue with me and say that, Jason, this is troublesome. I don't want to go through that. Can I just run one ad? Just clear my headache. I don't want to go through the trouble. Perfectly fine. But let me tell you, what are you leaving on the table? Now, if you spend $300 on just one ad, chances are, with this $300, I'm just saying you might reach people about 100,000 times. Okay, you get to show your ads about 100,000 times, which in turn you will get about 1,000 clicks. We're talking about 1% click-through rate. Now, out of these 1,000 people who click, okay, you probably get 5% conversion rate, which is decent. Now, 5% conversion rate, which means that you will get about 50 purchases. And let's say each purchase stands at $50 per purchase, the value of it. So by spending $300, you actually get back $2,500 in revenue. Actually, not bad at all. It's considered a very good, beautiful campaign. Now, let me give you another scenario over here. Now, scenario 2 is we have a very simple spending ratio. For tier 1, we spend 80%. For tier 2, we spend 20%. Now, on this case, if you spend $300 a month, I will only spend $240 on cold audience, which is the tier 1. Now, when I spend $240, which is 80%, I might reach people about 80,000 times, okay? And I might get 800 clicks in return. Now, out of these 800 clicks, if I still convert about 5%, which is fine, and I'll get about 40 purchases. Now, you may say that, come on, look at this. 40 purchases, you get only 2,000 back in revenue. In comparison, it is actually performing worse than you know, the first scenario. But I know you say this. We still have $60 left. So what can we do with the $60? $60 can do marvel. Now let me clear it out to you. The $60 will now only follow the people who click but did not purchase, which is how many people? We will only be following 800 people minus 40, which is 760 people. So let me break it down. So this 600 will be following 760 people. You have no idea how much money it is for $60 to follow 670 people. They will actually literally start seeing your brand or your advertisement everywhere they go. One day they probably will see your ads at least 5 to 10 times because such small audience and you spend $60 on them, this is really going to kill them. But the moment you're able to do this, what are you actually achieving? You're actually creating the kind of impression that, wow, who is this brand? They follow me everywhere they go. I go. I mean, they must be very rich. Impression. Branding. Imagine you follow them enough, you appear frequency. I mean, the frequency is high enough until they remember you. It gets into their mind. Even though they don't buy from you this round, whenever they want to buy your category of product in the future, who will come into their mind first? Probably you. So talk about digital branding. This is the best way to achieve this thing. However, when we are able to spend very minimal amount on the right people, they might take the right action. And let's say, what if we convert just another 10% out of these 760 people? That means another 76 orders on our way at $50 per order. We are supposed to get another $3,800 in revenue. So take a look back at the comparison. Scenario one, you get 2005. Scenario two, 2000 that you get on tier one and 3008 that you'll be getting from the tier two. So your choice. Same amount spent, you want to get back 2005 or you want to get back 5008. It's your choice. So this is what I'm actually going to invite you to do along. This is the funnel framework that I told you. And I already illustrated to you that it's working. It has been working for our clients and coaches and students, hundreds of them in the past 4 years in 20 over different industries. Chances are, whatever industry you're in, we have covered. If you are not, I would like to work with you to see how we can build yours in a very correct way. So what I want to do here is I want to invite you to come along and build your funnel with me, to invite you to join in my 6-day challenge. Now, the 6-day challenge is really something very unique that I wanted to create. Why? Because you see, I have been training for many years now. I told you I started training in 2016. Over the years, I've trained over 4,000 people. Most of the time, I train people in 1 day, full day training, or even few days training. Now, the moment I train people in this kind of format, one thing I find it dissatisfying is because Facebook advertising gets slightly technical at times. And when you study or learn a technical skill in such a short period of time, you can't capture a lot of the information. So your chances are, if you go through a full day training with me, you probably will get maybe about 20 to 30%, or sometimes better, 40%. But the moment you start doing it at home, you will face a lot of problems, and there will be a lot of confusion. So that's the reason why I created this 6-day challenge. So how does it work? 6-day challenge means every day I will teach you one specific lesson. And after that, you'll be given homework. You need to do your homework. The next day, we will use the homework created to take the next step, to build the next step. So 6 days down the road, basically, you will have a very easy way to learn, structured way to learn. And 6 days down the road, you will definitely learn a lot better about the Facebook advertising. And the best part of it is, when we are doing this, you can fall back to the Facebook group because we're going to teach this in the Facebook group. You have a Facebook group to fall back to where, not just me and my team, the peers inside the same batch that people you are in with will actually encourage you or give you feedback and all this kind of thing. It's a beautiful learning experience. We have done this with hundreds of people. It's really beautiful. So 6-day challenge fundamentally breaks down into a very simple format. 6 days, you and I will build your next Facebook ads campaign together. And I'm going to give you the whole 2-step funnel framework in and out, how to do it right. And you're going to watch over my shoulder, step-by-step walkthrough. I'm not going to teach you theories. I'm going to teach you real deal the moment we go into the ads manager. How do we set this up? How do we set it up? Every single thing you watch over my shoulder. And after that, you implement on your own. So basically, after that, you'll get daily homework. So that's the whole idea about a 6-day challenge, basically. So here's the uphill. Here is the climbing part. Now, let me break it down to you about what are the things that we're going to cover each day. First thing first, we're going to talk about how do we choose the right objective. You know, the action. Remember, we will talk about. I want you to avoid making the mistake of wrong action ever again. So I will tell you how each and every one of the actions of the objectives work. And then after that, you will be able to make the right decision. I even give you framework or give you samples about when you're in this industry, which objective you should be using. When you're in that, which one you should be using. Well, it's very easy to learn. Then after that, this is another key thing that we want to go through. How do we find the right audience? How do we target the right audience? What are the techniques that we can use to find the right audience for our campaign, for our industry? How do we do actually this thing right? So this is really something I will spend a day with you. And the second thing is how do we design the right ads? This is another thing that a lot of people find it confusing. We have one specific day of training that talks about, I think we will go through at least easily. At the moment, we have about 30 to 40 samples. So it's not just me giving you the lecture. I'll give you real case studies and I'll tell you what are the things that this ad is doing right or wrong so that you can learn from them. Real cases. Beautiful, trust me. And then eventually, how do we set up the two-step funnel framework for your Facebook ads campaign, for your company, for your product or services? So this is it. The 6-day challenge basically, okay, sorry, this comes in late. You're supposed to set up the business manager first. So this is what we do in the 6-day challenge. So basically the 6-day challenge is a very comprehensive way to learn the right way to do Facebook advertising, not just normal Facebook advertising, but a proven method and framework that is that is going to help you get better ROI, reduce budget waste, and tremendous digital branding opportunity for your brand or product or services. So how much should I price this? As you can see, we're only pricing this at $9.99. The reason I want to do this in this insane price is first, I want to make this an no-brainer offer to invite you to come over and join me to do this. Come in at $9.99. 6 days later, if you find whatever I'm teaching you is the right thing and you already get tremendous value from that, of course, we do have the level up activities that you can join. But I promise you, these 6 days, I will teach you everything that you need to know to get started and take a leap. I will not hold any bars. I will not keep any secrets. I'll give you everything. So this is what I'm actually promising you. Okay, so basically $9.99. If you're interested, go over to this link, click on the enroll button below, and I'll look forward to see you in my next 6-day challenge. Thank you so much.